Welcome to the Silver Mature WomanPreneur Podcast, a podcast for and by women over 50, providing faith-building strategies for female entrepreneurs looking to achieve higher levels of productivity, capacity, and growth, where we strive to focus on God's agenda while building our businesses to serve our community with excellence. Welcome to the podcast. Today I have the pleasure of having Nickquolette Barrett on the show. She's a career coach, also known as the Get Hired Strategist. She's the Chief Career Development Strategist and CEO and founder of iRock Development Solutions. And so she helps serious career professionals take control of their careers to finally love the work that they do while earning the income they deserve. And I might add, she's one of my favorite peeps and past clients. Welcome to the show, Nickquolette.
Hey, I'm so glad to be here. Yes, and you're my fave as well, and you have been a blessing to me. And when I was like, I don't know what to do with this, I dumped all that stuff in your lap, and you helped me. So, yes, I so appreciate the work that we did. I really, really do. Well, thank you so much for having me on the show.
I am so excited about this. So this is actually a podcast, like I said, for and by women over 50. And so the silver part is, that represents the gray hair. Now, I know, you don't have gray hair. I do.
No, you just don't see it. It's called dye.
Right,
hair dye.
That part.
Yes.
And so that's what the silver represents. But of course, the mature part is, it's for women over 50. And so what I wanted to do is to have some fantastic women entrepreneurs who speak to other women. But on the podcast, I want this to be an opportunity to help other women be encouraged, help other women over 50, do the things that God has called them to do, whether that's, shift in their career moves or, start an online business, which is something that I help them do, whatever that is. And so I'm just, looking at interviewing awesome women like yourself to help me do that. So thank you so much for the privilege and the honor of working with you, first of all, as well as being my guest on the show today. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you.
So so I'm, what I'm going to do is I'm going to, ask a few questions, and thank you for helping me in that process, and we're just going to have a conversation. Okay, and then at the end, we're going to help some women, really get focused, and whether, again, if it's whether they are choosing to pivot in their careers, or if they're starting a new career, or they are launching a business, this podcast is going to help them. So first of all, I want to know, how did you get started, and what's your why?
Oh, that's a good question. Now, I've been in corporate America for over about 30 years now. And so, almost 30 years now that I'm thinking about it. Yep, 1991, actually. And so, hence the silver and over 50. So I've been in corporate America for a very long time, and then with my recent company, a little over 27 years, and really got promoted early in my career to lead people. So I got promoted early as within 5 years of being with the company, and I've been in leadership for over 21 years now, going back and forth, and even been a corporate instructor. And one of the things that I've always been really good at is actually helping people develop for their next opportunity, and also having the skill of writing, because that's where my knack is. I can write, very, very well, and just marrying the two with career management and also the writing. And so it wasn't until the company I'm currently with started going through a major reorganization just under 10 years ago. And so one of the requirements as a leader is always to get your people prepared for the pipeline and for new opportunities. And one of the things that was kind of abnormal is that it was all at one time. Usually you have one that you're eyeing to try to promote or what have you, you're developing, but the company said it's time to get the people on the lower ranks to get promoted to the higher ranks. And I was part of a new stand-up operation. So I had to get my team ready. I said, there's opportunities out there. Some people were there to get their foot in the door because it's a Fortune 36 organization, so they're excited to be there, just having to teach them how to navigate corporate because a lot of them have never had a corporate opportunity or a corporate job. So I got them all prepared, and I had 11 people on my team at that time, and I got all 10 promoted within a matter of maybe 6 months. And only one that didn't get promoted is because she was getting married and relocating. So she said, no, I'm not interested because I'm getting married. So she was getting married and relocating out of Dallas and going on to Houston. But then 2 of my people came back and said, well, Miss Nickquolette, you're really good at this. If I, wasn't working for you, I would hire you and pay you to do this. And one of the things I was doing is rewriting their internal resumes, giving them interview prep, to make sure that they were ready to, win the next level of opportunity. And these 2 employees got a promotion with $14,000 in their income. I said, well, people pay for this? And I'm like, this is part of my responsibility as a corporate leader. I never really thought about it as an actual business. But those 2 individuals were the catalyst to get me to start thinking about what can I do with my own skill set. And so, therefore, I put out an actual blip to say, hey, this is what I'm doing, and this is the success that I've gotten on social media, and I'm literally telling you the rest was history. I started getting inbox requests to do their resume and help them, and so now we're a full-fledged company, not only doing resumes and cover letters, we do career bios, career networking sheets, and also interview prep and full-blown career coaching. And my why? Oh, and
yeah.
My why, because I love making sure that people understand that they are the CEO of their own career and that they don't have to always think that just because they work for a company or they have a title that they have to own that. They own their skill set, they own their talent, and they need to treat themselves as an entity and as a corporation so they can get paid their worth.
Oh, I so love that because a lot of people use, the CEO part. They don't think of it in terms of their careers and their own assets and things like that, and I love that analogy, in terms of that. That is so cool. Mm-hmm. So when you said that, because one of the questions I was going to ask you was that whether or not this was something that you knew early on, before doing that. So it sounds like you kind of, happened to discover that this was something that was needed, first of all. And this is something that I really want people who's listening, to the podcast, when they're looking at, launching a business or even, making a career pivot or what have you. The key point that you made was that it was something that was needed. People they had begun to ask you, those questions, and you were filling a need in the marketplace. And that is so, so key.
Yes, and you're so spot on because people felt comfortable with knowing that they can talk to a person. They didn't want someone or just an actual, we have a lot of what I call resume writing mills where you could just submit your resume through a mill and then someone wherever writes it and just spits it back out. They felt comfortable with talking to someone who actually have experience in the corporate America, no corporate speak, and really help them. And they're like, I had my resume done by XYZ. It didn't get any hits, and then maybe you can help me. And that's what it was. So as a career practitioner, it's very high value when you have an individual that you're working with as opposed to a resume writing mill that's like a big conglomerate who's really treating you as a number and not as a person. And people want that personal relationship with an actual company that can help them when it comes to their career.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, this kind of leads me into the next question about, your business, because I know, I know you personally, and I know that you are a believer. And so do you feel like your business is a calling and it's a ministry? And if so, just say a little bit about that.
You know what? Yes. And it's funny that you say it that way, because I always tell my clients, I pray for them. Pray for them once I'm done. I say I always add my clients to my prayer list, because their success is my success, and I know God go before them would help them. So, and I do not apologize for being a Christian-owned business. And I always use my hashtags: God is my CEO, Jesus is my director, and the angels are my virtual assistants. And because I have them there with me on my team, I'm able to serve my clients at the highest level I can, so that they can get the results that they want. And so when I'm mentoring them or coaching them, it comes from a place of spiritualness. And I have become longtime friends with a lot of my clients, because I motivate them, I encourage them with giving them the word and also that feel-good spirit about they can do it, because God created them, and those are their skills, their talents. I don't care if they learned it at a company or what have you. No one can take that away from them. And that's what I do. And I make no apologies about being a Christian-based business. You either want to work with me or you don't. But that is my premise.
You know what? I love that, because a lot of times, even in my own business, because I don't know if we even talked about this, previously, but before I started coaching and consulting and things like that, I was actually going into people's homes and helping them to organize their homes and their offices and garages and things like that. And so you made me think about that when you said, you pray for them, because one of the things I would do, while I'm in their home is I would pray while I'm in their home. I would pray around their house, and as I am, touching items, as I am, organizing stuff, because all of that stuff, like you said, is spiritual, and so I totally get it. And so it is a calling. This is our assignment. And in our assignment, it may change, our assignments change, but our calling doesn't change. Our purpose for who God has called us to be, doesn't change. And so, so I'm so glad that you said that. Absolutely, absolutely. So what are some steps did you take to grow your business?
One of the first things that I did, I leveraged the people that I helped to give me testimonials. And so testimonials really helped me grow. I always tell my clients I would be happy if they would give me a testimonial, because I want to attract great clients just like them, because great clients beget more great clients. And if I've done a great job for you, I would love for you to share my name. And I have to tell you, just doing that, my clientele is 95% referral-based. I have a website. I do social media marketing, but I don't pay for any marketing. My calendar stays booked just because of my referral base. And the more clients I get in, the more I have an opportunity. So if you're looking to grow and grow fast without spending money, do your best work, and then your clients will tell others about it. So that's basically how I grew my business. And as I grew and the need of additional services became available, I began to fulfill those requirements or the needs of my clients. So they will tell me what they need. First, it was just resume and cover letter. Then, thank you letter. That makes sense. Interview prep. Well, that makes sense. And then LinkedIn. Yep, that makes sense. So I stayed in my lane and made sure that I was servicing the clients and helping them, undergirding them as they go through their career, because the tagline is not only to land your dream job, but also to create a career that rocks. And that means not only just sending them out the door with the documents, but to make sure that I continue to grow, because I'm supporting them in their career by offering them salary negotiation, how to manage a bad boss, any kind of coaching that they need after they even get the job. And that allows me to grow as well. Yep.
Wow, that is awesome, because one of the things that I tell people all the time is that, one of the ways that you grow, or when you're launching your business, or, as I said, changing careers or what have you, you use what you already have. And that includes the resources, the people that you've already worked with, which can give you testimonials and referrals and things like that. And that's so crucial, because a lot of times people will, go out there, they will, create these campaigns and all that kind of stuff, and spend money, on ads and things like that. Yes. When, in fact, when they tap into their resources that they already have, that's one of the best ways, to begin to grow your business and even, launch your business. One of the scriptures that I like to use is 2 Kings 4, about the widow, who went to the prophet, and when she went to him because she was desperate, and one of the first things he asked her was, "What do you have?"
Yeah.
What do you have? And so it's, absolutely. And so, that is so key. In terms of, like I said, launching, pivoting, whatever it is, what do you already have? What skills do you already have? What resources do you already have? What connections do you already have? What kind of things do you already know how to do? There's no need for us to reinvent the wheel. So it's just, these things are so.
And it's so spot on, because what happens is that when people say they want to go into business, they get busy about business. They want to get a website. They want to do this. They want to do that. I say, why don't you prove your concept? I started writing resumes from my Facebook inbox, Facebook Messenger. So they didn't even have Messenger back then. It was just inbox. So people just asked me, and I would just start doing it and charging them that way. Then I figured out, I need a PayPal. So I just sent them a PayPal link. So I start serving people first before I start getting the website and the logo and all of that kind of stuff, because you want to prove up your concept. Many people spend a lot of time acting as if they're in business by doing all the business face stuff without working on the things behind. And that's one of the things that when I didn't know that my little hobby was going to grow, that's when I came to you. I'm like, okay, now this thing is really turning into something, so I need to do some more streamlining and organizing, because you want to have those processes and systems in place. But you need to prove your concept that people even want it first before spending a whole lot of money on a website and logo and stationery, all of that kind of stuff that makes you look like you're in business, but you don't have any business.
Oh my gosh, you hit the nail on the head. Oh my goodness. So, oh my goodness, there's so much right there, in terms of what you said, but I know I don't want to go on on a rabbit trail, on that, but what I wanted to do was ask, a couple of things, like, so I know that you help people with, LinkedIn writing and interview prep and salary negotiation and things like that. What are some of the top mistakes that you've seen when people are in working with your clients, when they're looking for new jobs, whether it's interview mistakes or resume mistakes or things like that? What are some, maybe 2 or 3 things that you see consistently, when it comes to that, some mistakes that people are making?
One of the things that people do with their resume is that they take their job description and they put it inside the format of a resume. And they're just basically creating a formatted resume, but not a content-rich marketing resume. And there's a big difference. They're now marketing themselves. So when they're creating their own resume, they send it out in hopes of landing an interview. If you're not getting any hits from your resume, trust me, it's not you, it is your resume. So I don't want people to get discouraged. Well, nobody's wanting to hire me. That's because you're doing a DIY, do it yourself. No, you don't want to do it yourself. You want to have a professional who knows how to market you and brand you and tell your career story such that you land the interviews that you deserve. In an interview, what people do, they wing it. You cannot just go into an interview and wing it. You need to prepare because you're asking that organization to pay you a five-figure salary, five-figure salary, or even a six-figure salary, plus benefits, plus all of these things. So you have to go in as a business and go in there and being able to showcase, basically marketing yourself by your talking to them through your interview and the answer from your interview, in order for them to see the value to make your offer that's worth it to you and them. They just wing it. You cannot wing it. And on LinkedIn, my last and third point, people I see, they don't either utilize LinkedIn or know how to optimize LinkedIn for their use. That is a powerful engine. And if you're not on there marketing yourself, then you are missing out on opportunities where these recruiters are mainly using LinkedIn to generate leads for open opportunities. And if yours is not optimized, also telling your career story, you can be missing out on some great opportunities because they are looking for you. This is an employee's market, so you need to be maximizing this opportunity right now to land a dream job, better job, or what have you. It's your time. But those are the mistakes I see mostly.
Wow. So underutilizing LinkedIn, stop winging it, in those interviews, and
right.
and as far as the job description, make sure that you are. Did you say like marketing? Stop putting your job description in. And say that one more time because I don't want to get it wrong.
Yeah, it's a job description. A lot of times the resumes I get in are people just taking their job description and they put it inside of the resume because it's all about, they think, I just need to name the company I work for, the title that I had, and my job duties. That's all it says. And so that tells me nothing. It just tells me that you know how to rewrite a job description or copy and paste a job description. What I'm more interested in, if I'm hiring you or looking to hire you or even interview you, how have you made an impact in your role? That's marketing yourself in the actual resume.
Got it. I love that. This is so powerful, and I know that the people that's going to be listening to these podcasts, particularly this one, because, the job market right now is pretty interesting, to say the least.
It's hot. It's a great time to look for a job and ask for more than what you work in. Yes. Yep.
So one question I have for you, do you think, because, we're talking to, women over 50, right? When are we too old to start something new?
I would say you're never too old. I mean, people are starting businesses even after they have retired, doing things that they love to do. And so you're never too old to start a business. And what people have to think about, what do I enjoy? What am I good at? And this is something that I can do using my own skills to, even if it's a side gig, and you don't even have to make it a full business, but it's some extra income, you can even do that. There's a lot of corporate women who have a wealth of knowledge that can mentor people, that can coach people, that can consult small companies. And if you're like, when you were talking about organizing, if you're good at organizing and that relaxes you, help people organize. That's a huge need. There's so many different things that you can actually serve and help and serve people with your gifts at any age. And never think that you're too old to do anything. It's just your desire. If you want to do it, it can happen. And it's all about chunking it down to small pieces and saying, yep, I can do this. If I make this step, then I can make the next step going down the road. And don't look at it as an overwhelming process if you try to do everything at one time.
Absolutely. I so agree with you. It's like, you're just never ever too old. It's all about a mindset, And,
That's it.
yeah, it's all about that mindset. And, and that's what this, again, that's what these podcasts and is going, all about, is to help women with their mindset about, how they view themselves, what's their perspective about, approaching a new career or approaching a new I lost my thought there. Okay, that's
Hey, girl, that's
approaching. Yeah, right. But launching a new business and things like that. Yeah. And so, we have so much to offer in the marketplace. We have a lot of skills. We have a lot of wisdom. We have a lot of resources. We have a lot of experience, and we can bring all of that, to the marketplace and, package it and market it in a way, and again, it's like what you said earlier, when you were talking about, yourself, if people are asking for those things, figure out a way, to market that, and, and make sure that you're serving people, in that capacity. And like you said, staying in your lane, right? And so you're never,
be a jack of all trades and a master of none.
Yes. So the last couple of questions that I have, so I want to know because we talked about it right before we started the recording, what are some exciting things that you have coming up? And then lastly, how can people reach you?
Oh, well, I am so excited about the next, the pivot of what iRock Resumes, iRock Development Solutions, LLC, doing business as iRock Resumes, about to do. We love our B2C clients, our business to consumer. We love our individual career professionals looking to elevate their careers. We're now pivoting to go over to work with organizations, particularly small to medium-sized companies, and helping them find the right talent for their teams so they can create synergy based on a career assessment that we use to showcase them that this is the kind of talent you need. So say, for example, I am a super extrovert. You don't need a team full of extroverts because then you won't get any work done. So you need to be able to have that introvert, extrovert, that strategist, that developer, or what have you, to make sure that the synergy is there so companies can reach the goals. And the career assessment that I have can find the right talent, and I can use that assessment to also train and develop those people so that they can optimize and reach the goals that the company wants. So we're creating all of that, all of the marketing behind that, and just to kind of target through people I already have. All of the CEOs and directors I've already worked with, I'm going to go with them because those are the lowest hanging fruit. I'm going to ask them to introduce me to their those HR departments so I can have a conversation. And that way my marketing material is already created, and it's also using my network just to send it to them. And that doesn't cost me any ad money. Using my resources.
Exactly.
So we're excited about that. Mm-hmm. Yep, that's what it is.
Yeah,
using
your resources.
About that.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, before you tell people about where you can be reached, the thing is we're in a culture now where partnership and partnering with other partnering and collaborating with other organizations and other business owners, that can complement, what you do. That's the age that we're in, and the thing is, the thing about we as believers, we don't have competition. There is no competition.
There's plenty out here. God has made it available. I'm so glad you went down that road, because one of the things people think of is that, but there are so many other people doing that. But there are every church has its own sheep. I don't care how many churches on the corner, they always have members, right? Same thing. you're going to attract those who want to work with you. I don't worry about my peers who are doing the same thing. I'm attracting the people who want to work with me and my personality and what I have to offer for my organization. That is your differentiating factor. You as a person. And then so you think about that, and if you put those blinders on and just do you and focus on how you can serve your clientele, it will beget more clientele for you. And trust that God will make it plenteous. I had a situation where a young lady didn't know that she was going to start a resume business, but she asked me about all my processes, and I gave her all of this stuff. And then next thing you know, she popped up with a resume writing business. And I said, well, honey, I could have, there's plenty of work out here. I can't write all the resumes in the world. So that was the small thinking of that individual saying, I'm going to just take the information and then start my own. And this was supposed to be a peer. And I'm like, I could have helped you. I could have told you everything because everybody's not going to just want me. I can't write all the resumes. I could have been a referral partner and send people to you, So, but know that it's plenty out there. God has made it such that there is plenty. I mean, there's so many McDonald's on every corner, but guess what? That you can a pop shop, or you get a burger from Wendy's or Whataburger or whatever they call them. All of those places. That means people still eat burgers, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yep.
And everybody has their own preference.
Exactly. Yep, exactly. So don't get messed up. Just utilize your skills because someone needs your voice and your skill set, and God will do the rest. You say yes, He will be behind you. Yep.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, Nickquolette, how can people reach you?
Okay, the first place is my piece of real estate online, iRockResumes.com. And on social media, I'm at iRockResumes. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram. I am on Facebook, iRock Development Solutions, LLC, doing business as iRockResumes on Facebook and on LinkedIn. LinkedIn, that is where I hang out the most because, of course, that's my clientele. You can find me with my long name, Nickquolette Barrett. If you put in NICKQ, you will find me on LinkedIn. I'm the only Nickquolette Barrett out there, with that, especially with that first name. And also, iRock Development Solutions, LLC. Yep, doing business like iRock Resumes. And I would love for people to subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is iRock TV, and it's real careers, real talk, and real results. And I would love for people to subscribe there because there's over 100 videos, all free for any resume help, interview prep help, LinkedIn, career tips, and I have wonderful interviews out there, too, for career professionals who talk about almost like a mini job shadow into what they do. So I'd love for them to subscribe there.
Yeah, and I know you do some Facebook Lives as well. I see that pop up, on my screen a lot of times. So, yeah, if they can't find you, they're not looking.
Yep.
They're not looking if they can't find you.
Yep, I do my lives, and I love my lives.
Yeah.
And that's really how I really grew, doing a lot of lives because I just didn't have time to blog. And so they were like, you know what, just get out there and do a video. So I had one of my clients actually push me to do a video, and she recorded me. I did my first video, and then it's been on ever since. And that's what I do because that's how I get my message out. And that's how people have to figure out what is the best medium. You don't have to do all of it. Just do what's good for you. And video is good for me.
Yeah.
Hi, this is Aldreama Harper, and thank you for listening to the podcast. I hope you got value for where you are in your entrepreneurial endeavor. And if you'd like to know more about how I can further serve you, simply go to CoachDreama.com. Again, that's CoachDreama.com. I look forward to hearing from you. Have an amazing day.